So I turned my skull into a furry. Now, to understand that, let me tell you how it happened. So teacher told us about the contest that we have to animate a short movie or just film it about our school. So I made this. So I was thinking how to turn our school into something animatable or how to get it some look or a mascot for that matter. So I drew a griffin because, as you may see on our school logo, there's a griffin. So I made a first sketch, then a little bit more nice one to get the better shape of it and how I want it to look. And the main thing about our school is how to say it, SMYK. CMYK. I don't know how to say it in English, but that's basically how the printers work. They don't have normal red, green and blue, but they have magenta, cyan, yellow and black paint in it. So that's the color palette that I went with because it's the most fitting one for our school. I added some claws to make it like more guardian-like creature that protects our school from everything or stuff. I don't know what I wanted to do with it, but I wanted to look epic. But with not a lot of things that I can do with it because it's just a griffin. Of course, in the logo it has crown and something in his paws, but I didn't see it. I just decided that it will be just a griffin without anything on its head. I gave him a little piles of fur with his legs to put some more color there because I want the body to be black, and black itself is pretty boring color, especially when you're talking about our school when everything is happy and fun. So I needed to add some more color everywhere to make it more interesting. And now here's the color palette that I've been using. So I started by making his feathers on the head and coloring everything what has to be magenta, because it's the first color that goes in our logo. Making outline to all these feathers was a pretty painful job because I needed to make it look nice and actually work. So going along the line isn't my favorite thing to do, but it works somehow. And the full file corrupted when I was coloring it. I don't know what happened, it just got corrupted and it broke. But as you can see, I just colored it in with all these colors. I'm adding the white to represent the paper that everything is printed on. And yeah, I'm sorry that you won't see me coloring it, but as I said, file got corrupted. So I didn't exactly knew what I want how the colors to look like. So at first I made the spots because I decided that it's not enough cyan, but then I thought that it's too much cyan. Colored claws, added some white spots more, and yeah. I destroyed the color palette by adding different shade of yellow, but I needed it. And then I came to shading. I didn't know exactly what kind of shading I want, but finally went with more detailed one because I wanted to look epic, as I said before. So it needed cool shading, and be fancy. So yeah, shading black isn't my favorite thing because it's quite hard to see how you shade black because it's black. But white is very comfortable to shade, even sometimes too well visible. But finally I just got it in the way that I'm happy with, and I think it looks nice. The paws front feet was horrible to shade because I'm not used to this kind of surface. I prefer making fur because I know how the fur is going and it's just drawing lines. So yeah, this was a bit of a challenge. So yeah, the legs, tail and the fluff all the way over his body was pretty easy to make for me because I'm used to it. And that's just finishing touches, adding some highlights. And many people forget that highlights are okay, but not when there's too much. So adding a lot of highlights is not the best idea. I'm adding them because the whole thing is black and I needed some color, but then I don't leave it just overly bright and I just tone it down, because otherwise you have a lot of white lines along your drawing and it's not looking good. So yeah, I centered it, added some background, and now here comes fun part. I said I turned it into a furry. So here we go. Now for the ones who don't know what furry is basically an animal with human characteristic, like it speaks, it walks on two legs, and yeah, it just acts like a human, like in many of Disney films. So yeah, I turned that Griffin into a more teenager version, wearing a hoodie, of course. Yeah, it doesn't have a big wings because it's still learning how to fly. Learning school, you know. And guess what? This time I forgot to press record when I was coloring it, so once again you won't see me color it, but I did the same thing like you can see now with the feathers on his head, but I did it with the wings and the black fur. So yeah, it was just filling it with color, not a big deal. So to a personality of this character, I thought of some kind of more happy, very friendly, open guy that likes to make jokes, very bad jokes. Yeah, he's interested in computers, video games, art, social media, and with robots and other mechanical stuff. Like in our school, we have classes for that. So yeah, he's very creative and open. Now, I did some faces because if I wanted this ever to animate that guy, I needed to give him some expressions, and I think he's pretty cute. He's very cute. So I did three main, like very happy, angry, and sad, because that's the most useful emotions that you can get. And of course, when I was drawing it, I couldn't stop thinking about how would he work as a school mascot. I really need to talk about it in school with someone, some of teachers, or even make a first set of him if one day it will get to this stage. Well, I'm very open about him. I really can do a lot of him, but if no one will want him, then it's okay. I will just throw him into the trash and he will never see the light of the day again, even if he's so cute. he's very childish. He's cute. He's my boy. I'm very proud of how he turned out, and I never thought that such simple color palette and that I can even turn a skull into some kind of character, because it's very interesting. But yeah, his name is Paul because I chose it because the name of the school is Poligraf, so the first three letters. Okay, so that will be all for today. Let me know if you want more voiceover on some kind of me speaking while drawing. Then I'll maybe try to do it again, but I know my mic isn't good, and also, I'm not a good speaker. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and goodbye.